The Tenerife Airport Catastrophe, unmasking the shocking details of the century's deadliest crash. Do you know about the Tenerife Airport disaster? It was the deadliest accident in aviation history that claimed 583 lives. Let's find out what caused this horrific tragedy. Tenerife is the largest of Spain's 8 Canary Islands, located in the Atlantic Ocean off northwest Africa. It is a popular tourist destination that attracts more than 5 million visitors each year. But on March 27, Sunday afternoon in 1997, it became the scene of a horrific accident. It all began with a bomb. Yes, you heard that right. A bomb was set off by a terrorist group called the Canary Islands Independence Movement at Gran Canaria Airport, which is the main airport of the archipelago. The bomb caused injuries and panic and forced the authorities to close the airport and search for more explosives. This meant that several incoming flights had to be diverted to another airport nearby, which was the Los Rodeos Airport, or Tenerife North Airport. Among these flights were 2 Boeing 747 jumbo jets, which included Pan Am Flight 1736 from Los Angeles and New York, and KLM Flight 4805 from Amsterdam. Those flights were carrying hundreds of passengers who were planning to spend their vacation in Gran Canaria. But instead of landing at their destination, they found themselves stuck at a small airport that was not designed to handle such large aircraft. The airport had only one long road for planes to take off and land. It also had another road next to it for planes to move around. But the other road was full of parked planes, so the planes that wanted to leave had to use the same road as the planes that wanted to land. To make matters worse, there was a lot of mist in the air, making it hard to see for the pilots and the people in the tower. After several hours of waiting, Gran Canaria Airport reopened and both flights were cleared to depart. The KLM flight was the first in line, followed by the Pan Am flight. The KLM plane had filled up with more fuel while waiting, making it heavier and harder to fly. The Pan Am plane had stayed inside, hoping to go soon. The control tower instructed both flights to move along the runway and then turn off at an exit point called C3. This would let them go back on the other road and get ready to fly in different ways. However, there was a fatal misunderstanding. Before we continue, make sure you hit that red button to get notified of our new videos. So, the misunderstanding took place when the KLM flight reached the end of the runway and turned around, ready to take off. The captain, Jacob Van Zanten, was an experienced pilot and a senior instructor for KLM. He was also eager to leave Tenerife before his crew worked too much. He asked for permission to fly from the tower, but he did not hear a clear answer. Instead, he heard a noise from another plane that was trying to talk to Tenerife. He also heard his helper say that they were now at flying. He assumed that this meant that they had received clearance and that they were good to go. He pushed the buttons forward and started moving down the runway. But he was wrong. The tower had not given them permission yet. They were still waiting for confirmation that the Pan Am plane had left the long road. The Pan Am plane had not gotten to C3 yet. They did not see it in the mist and kept going along the long road until they found another place called C4. By then, it was too late. The tower saw the KLM flight accelerating on their radar and shouted that they were not cleared for takeoff. But their warning was covered by a loud sound on the radio. The Pan Am plane saw the KLM plane coming towards them in the mist and tried to move out of its way, but there was not enough room or time. The KLM plane went up slightly but could not go over the Pan Am plane. It hit the top part and broke it apart. The KLM plane then hit the ground and burst into fire. Both planes were broken in seconds. All 248 people on board the KLM plane died right away. Only 61 people on board the Pan Am plane lived, mostly in the front part of the plane. They got out through a hole in the side of the plane and ran away from the fire. The rest of the people and team died in the fire. The disaster remains the worst accident in aviation history. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please leave a comment below and let us know what you think.